Hello friends, myself Mr. Sunil Deokar, Head of Department, English Department of Rao Bahadur Narendra Boroke College, Sri Rampur. Today I am going to deal with the topic Peace, a poem by Swami Vivekananda. So before turning to this poem, I would like to turn who was Swami Vivekananda. Who is one who doesn't know Swami Vivekananda? Every one of us is quite familiar with the name of Swami Vivekananda. So he was called as Swami. His name it was Narendra Datta. So his father was a lawyer. But at the same time, even though he was from a high class family, he was a different kind of child from his childhood. If you see his identity, he might be identified as a religious leader and creator of Vedanta, but beyond that, who he was artist, singer, poet, composer, painter, master of language and literature. So he took his education in Calcutta, but at the same time, from his childhood, he was a different kind of child, different from others. He was learned, he was scholar, and he always had questions in his mind. And he went as per by his own will. If you see the best example we can know in his Chicago, there was World Parliament Religious Summit, which was organized at Chicago, America. So at that time, he represented the Hindu culture, the Hindu religion in America. So as we know, likewise we know English is much more formal language. So even though when we are addressing in English, generally we address as ladies and gentlemen. And if we address in Marathi to speakers, we see the male dominancy. Sarva Vidyarthi va Vidyarthininno, we say in Marathi. But in English, I would say English is a much more formal language. So here, ladies and gentlemen, but Swami Vivekananda, he went one step ahead. So he addressed in that religious summit as sisters and brothers of America. So when he proclaimed as sisters and brothers of America in that religious summit, so all the people, they stood up, and for 2 minutes they gave a loud applause to Swami Vivekananda at that time. So we can understand. And he later on narrated his speech. And so he was just initially given 2 minutes of time. But among all the speakers, he was a prominent speaker. And he explained how Hindu religion is the mother of all religion. He told how the Indian land itself is a multicultural and multi-religious land, and how India has accepted all the caste and creeds of people in India. And that's why among all the religion, how Hindu religion is the mother of all religion. So that philosophy, he explained in a very good manner, and he told that no religion teaches us, that means all religion, they teaches us humanity. No religion in the world is of such kind which is the enemy of other people. So the philosophy of all the religion is the same, and he taught to the whole world the brotherhood and maintaining a relationship, or I would say a universal brotherhood, which was been the summary of his religious summit, he can say. And that's why he was praised by all, that everyone loved to listen to Swami Vivekananda there also. So that likewise, when he was there, when he went to Chicago, before that, he asked his permission to his mother. Shall I go to America to attend the religious summit? And at that time, his mother, Sarda, she told, just bring that knife. Just bring that knife. Vivekananda went and he brought that knife and handed it to his mother. And at that time, his mother told him that you may go now. Your permission is granted. Swami Vivekananda was confused at a moment, for a moment. So why? That I asked permission to my mother and she said, bring the knife. I handed over the knife to my mother and she said, you may go now. So he was rather puzzled. He asked, mother, I asked you permission and you just directly said, go. So what is the reason? So what kind of test you have taken me? So she told that I asked you to bring the knife. So you kept that pointed side towards in your hand and the wooden side you handed in that manner to me. So likewise, it was your exam. It was your exam and you are qualified to go. Why? Because whatever the pains will happen, it will happen to you. So that kind of attitude itself is, it was of Swami Vivekananda. It was service to nation or service to humanity, that it was appealed through his actions, I would say. So yes, he was a learned person, he was a scholar person, he had many more opportunities that he may also have stayed in London or America. There were many followers and disciples of him, but he objected all those things and he came back to India. He traveled all over India. He traveled all over India with that means on foot, even though he was from a high class family, but he devoted his entire life for the service of the nation, which could be clearly reflected. So I would say at one side, yes, he was talented. I can also give you another example. When he was in America, at that time, at the evening time, he met a German philosopher. He was reading a book. He was reading a book of philosophy in German language, which was around 700 plus pages. Swamiji, he asked him that what you are reading. So he told it is a German philosophical book. And as you don't know German, you cannot understand the language which has been written. At that time, Swami Vivekananda, he recommended to give or hand over that book for just an hour. For just an hour. So we could see, initially, he told how it is possible. But then also with that when he recommended to give, so naturally he handed over the book for 1 hour to Swami Vivekananda. After 1 hour, he returned that book to that German philosopher. The German philosopher later questioned, what you have understood? So what you have understood? So he told that I know everything now. You may, if you want to test me, you may ask any question from the book. So the philosopher, he demanded that on page number 62, it has been mentioned about what has been mentioned on page number 62. So the philosopher, Swami Vivekananda, he told that such and such thing is mentioned and he was astonished. So he was astonished even afterwards in the library. So even he went to the library and even that library also, he read different books. So he read different books and the librarian was also astonished. Why in a short period? How in a short period he was so much well equipped or knowledgeable? How he was so much knowledgeable? So it cannot, that means he was a learned person from all sides we could see. And so we could also see his in India National Youth Day. Every year we celebrate National Youth Day on his birth anniversary. That is, I think, the 12th September. So we celebrate 12th January every year on 1863. 12th January is the National Youth Day, which we celebrate every year. So if you see, I have mentioned here some quotes which are from his poems or from his writing. So when he says, "Arise, awake, and not stop. Stop not till goal is not reached." So he says, arise, arise. Arise means stand up. Awake, jage hua, awake, and stop not till your goal is achieved. So what should be our personality in our life? So one should, he can say, one should arise, awake, and stop not until and unless you achieve the goal. So you should be dedicated. So you should be dedicated to your goal. So if you can't believe in God, unless you believe in yourself. So you cannot believe in God. You cannot believe in God. First of all, trust in yourself. Trust in yourself. If you trust yourself, how you can trust yourself? So if you trust yourself, then and then only you can trust God. Then and then only you can trust God. Dare to be free. Dare to go far as your thought leads, and dare to carry out those thoughts in your life. So your thought is important. Vichar. Whatever thought you have in your mind, naturally you should carry it. You should not stop. And that thought, you should achieve the final destination. So your thought, it should be your success. And you can get your success, you cannot get your success until and unless you achieve your goal or your destination. I'd also like to say that Swami Vivekananda, you can say, he was a patriotic monk. So he was a patriotic monk. He was the disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahansa in Calcutta. And later, after Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he led the life of a monk, and he served the race of humanity. As service to human is service to God. He traveled all over the India, and he remained a monk. We could also see the present Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. He is also the follower of Swami Vivekananda. So his principles, so whatever that means, meditation principles, whatever that means, all they are being followed by even our present Prime Minister. So if now I turn to the poem, peace. How can peace be achieved? Peace, here in a sense, it is the mental state. It is the mental state. And how can this peace be achieved? Peace is in ourselves. Peace is in ourselves. And that peace, it cannot be achieved until and unless you are calm and quiet. You are in calm and quiet position. Until up to that, we cannot achieve your peace. So he says, I'll turn to the poem. I'll read this poem is divided into 7 stanzas. Each stanza is of 4 lines, except stanza number 5, it is of 5 lines. And the other stanzas, they are of 4 lines each. So I'll turn to the poem now. Behold, it comes in might, the power that is not power, the light that is in darkness, the shade in the dazzling light. So just see, behold, you can see. What you can see? You can see the peace. It means peace. He has addressed to peace. It comes in might. Might means great power. So the power that is not power, the light that is in darkness. So there is no darkness. He says there is no darkness. There is no devil or evil. So it is in us. So it is our vision. It is our attitude. So change your attitude. Even in the darkness, you may find peace. Or even in the dazzling sun, you may find shade. So you may find shade. In the dazzling sun, that means in bright sunlight, in the afternoon time, you may also find shade. So it is all due to because you are calm. You have, that means the abilities to bear all these things. So you have acceptance, and that's why you are calm and quiet. So it is joy. Next stanza. It is joy that never spoke and grief unfelt, profound, immortal life unlived, eternal death unmourned. So further he says, joy is, it never speaks. So peace is also a source of joy, and the grief, so just like there, that means the person who is calm and quiet, he is always joyous. For him, the grief is unfelt. That means he doesn't know what is grief. He doesn't know what is poverty or what is grief. So that means grief is far away from him. He always is happy. So grief is unfelt. Profound. Profound means knowledgeable. So immortal life unlived. What kind of life you are living? Immortal life. Amaratva. So you are living an immortal life. Amaratva जीवन तुम्ही जगता है. So immortal life you are living. Eternal death unmourned. Eternal death. Eternal means what? So the soul. So you have command and control over your soul. Eternal death. It is unmourned. So you are ready to give up your body at any moment. So that means you are controlled by your soul. We know Swami Vivekananda himself, he declared that he was going to take Samadhi on such and such day. So he took Samadhi, and that means he lived that whatever is in his writing, it could be clearly reflected in his life also. The actions, they are monitored by soul, you can say. It is joy nor sorrow. Further he says, what is peace? Peace is nor joy nor sorrow, but that which is between joy and sorrow. It is not night nor morning, you can say, morning, you can say, but that which joins them. So just see, joy and sorrow, night and morning. In between, you can say it is peace. So it is a junction, it is a bridge. Peace is a bridge between joy and sorrow. Peace is a bridge between day and night. So that it has been mentioned in that stanza, in the third stanza. So it is sweet rest in music. Further he says, what is peace? Peace is sweet rest in music and pause in sacred art. What is peace? It is a sacred art. It is a sacred, pavitra, sacred art. So peace is a sacred art. The silence between speaking. So just see, silence. You don't have to speak everything. So you don't have to speak everything. So silence, it speaks much more. It is a mutual bond. It is a mutual understanding. So when people, that means they are attached by their souls. They are attached by their souls. The feelings or the emotions, they are attached by their souls. So it is a peace. It is, that means without speaking, it is peace, you can say. It is a peace between two feet of passions. So our passions, so what you feel. So it is the calm, that means it is the calm of heart. So peace, shantata. So it is the calm of heart. It will naturally give you pleasure to your heart also. So that means you will always stay calm and cool without any problems and worries. So you will be living a very stressful life. If you are peaceful, if you adopt the principles, whatever Swami Vivekananda he has expressed here. Further he says, what is peace? Peace is beauty. It is beauty never seen. So abstract again. Peace, it is beauty. It is beautiful. We cannot see. That means it is beauty that is never seen. And love that stands alone. What is peace? Peace is love that stands alone. So, and knowledge never known. It is song that lives unsung. What is peace? So, you can say in this stanza number 5, what does it says? Peace is beauty, peace is love, peace is song, and finally it says peace is knowledge. So, what is peace exactly? Where you can find peace? Peace is beauty, peace is knowledge, peace is love, and peace is song, which has been mentioned in stanza number 5. Further he says, it is death between two lives and lull between two storms. The void whence rose creation, and that where it returns. So what is, it is death between two lives. So what remains after life? So except, again he says, after death also. So we should accept that death also. There should be no storm. The storm, it should also, you can say, it should get calm easily. You should lull. Lull means to sleep. So, lullaby, we may say lullaby, but here lull, that means to sleep. A song which has been sung to sleep. But here sleep, it indicates death. So, it is a calm sleep. So, your death, it should also be natural. Your death, it should be also be natural. The death is also a beauty. Here in a sense, we may say, what is it? It is death also. Peace is death also. But that peace, we should get as per our will. Or that means it should be calm. There should be no restlessness. There should be no restlessness in our mind. And where there it returns. And in the last stanza, to it the teardrop goes. So when he says, finally he says, the teardrop goes to spread the smiling form. It is the goal of life, and peace its only home. So further in the last stanza he says, what is peace? Peace is teardrop. Teardrop, when he says teardrop, tears which comes from our eyes, they are natural. So what are those tears? They are the tears of happiness. They are the tears of success. They are the tears of joy. and that it also gives us peace. So when we are, that means tears comes of our eyes either when we are in a happy state, or in a sorrowful mood. At that time, the tears come out of our eyes. So the poet says, so the tears, they come out of our eyes. So the smiling tears. So he says, the word which has been used, tears drop goes to spread the smiling form. So on our smiling face, the tears they come, they roll, the tears they roll on our smiling face. And it is what? It is the goal of life. It is the goal. That means whatever success you have deserved, or whatever the goal you have dreamed, naturally you have achieved that success. And that's why those tears on your face, they are none another but the tears of success, which will give you joy, and that is peace. And that is also peace. And finally he says, and peace, it's only home. So what is really peace? Peace is home, peace is beauty, peace is love. What is that? Means peace is death. So that from all sides, peace is joy, peace is sorrow, peace is night, peace is day. So everywhere, that means peace is in us. Peace is in us. It is guided by your actions. The way you think, naturally, it leads to that way. So it is in us. So if you want to become happy, naturally, it is all you can say. So he calls, that means peace itself is in us. So as he had says, you cannot believe in God unless you believe in yourself. So trust in yourself. God is within you. God is within you. That soul is a drop. We can say it is the soul. Body is meaningless. That soul, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. And try to understand the bondage between your soul and your body, and what is the really meaning of life. He has very systematically explained through this poem. So that was the point which I wanted to focus here in this poem. So even that it is an abstract idea, peace, but how that peace can be achieved. So nothing beyond peace, nothing there lies any kind of happiness. And how we can achieve peace in a philosophical manner. The poem is a philosophical poem, and he has really been successful in explaining his thoughts to us. So that was the thing which I wanted to focus here through this poem. Thank you.